All right, let's get started with the announcement of Ben Affleck as the new Batman, ending the speculation about who would play the Dark Knight next. Rumors have now turned to other characters in the DC universe, specifically Lex Luthor. A rumor recently surfaced that Breaking Bad star Bryan Cranston has been cast as the classic Superman villain with a 6-movie deal. The rumor also suggested that Mark Strong, who is in consideration for the role, will actually be reprising his role as Sinestro from the Green Lantern movie, and that Matt Damon was in talks to play Aquaman and the Martian Manhunter. John, is there any truth to these rumors about Cranston as Lex Luthor?
Oh, dear God. Okay, so here's the reality. First of all, let's rephrase the question. Is it possible that this rumor could be true about Bryan Cranston playing Lex Luthor? And I can say with some certainty that yes, it's possible. It is within the realm of possibility, but then again, just about anything is possible. I could develop, telekinetic powers tomorrow morning. Not likely, but possible, right? So now, I don't believe this Cranston thing for a second. Now, before I go into why, let me give you a little bit of context here, okay? My job and all of our jobs here on AMC Movie Talk is not to tell you what to think. Now, sometimes we use language like that's it, but the reality is all film is subjective. All film is based on opinion and is subjective. That's the reality of it, and that's the most beautiful thing about movies. So my job here is not to tell you what to think. What my job is twofold, or threefold, really. Number one, give you the information. So, let you know that Ben Affleck has been cast as Batman. Number two, to give you context in that information. This information came directly from The Hollywood Reporter, who heard it directly from Warner Brothers, blah, blah. So we give you the information, Ben Affleck is Batman. We give you the context, we got it from this source, who got it directly from Warner Brothers, yada, yada, yada. And then thirdly is to give you my opinion on it. But then it's up to you, the viewer and the film fan, to develop your own opinion about it. And it's great if it's not my opinion. It's great if it is my opinion, or if it's totally something way out there, as long as I do my job of giving you the information and giving you the context in which the information came from. Then you can form whatever opinion you want. And that's the fun part about being film fans. So let's look at this. Number one, this rumor about Bryan Cranston being cast as Lex Luthor, and attached to that rumor, coming from the same report, is that Mark Strong will reprise his role as Sinestro, and that Matt Damon, it may either be Aquaman or Martian Manhunter. Okay, so that's the information. Now, I wasn't even going to talk about this story because I find it so ludicrous, but because it's now so widespread. Dennis knows I'm a big tech fan. I love technology. I watch tech podcasts all the time. I'm a big fan of Leo Laporte and the Twit Network, and I was watching the tech guy the other day, over the weekend, and even Leo Laporte was, oh, did you hear that it's confirmed that Bryan Cranston is Lex Luthor? I'm like, oh, this is getting out of control. Okay, so that's why I'm addressing it here. So the information, there is this report going around. We've already done that. But here's the context of it that a lot of people aren't giving you. The context is this. Where did this report come from? Did it come from The Hollywood Reporter? Did it come from Variety? Did it come from USA Today? News sources that check, double check, and then triple fact check the facts before presenting it to you as news. No, it didn't come from any of those. It came from a site that I admit I think I've only heard of once before, called Cosmic Movie News. That they gave this report that JoeBlow.com, a site that I like very much, reports as a notoriously unreliable website. That's their words, not mine. And they reported this. And they just claim they have a source that told them. They're not saying the president of Warner Brothers told us this. They're not saying Ben Affleck called us and told us this. No, they just say, we have a source that tells us this. So you have this, in Joe Blow's words, a notoriously unreliable website, saying they just have a source who told them, running this really outrageous story. And now it's become common knowledge that Bryan Cranston is confirmed as Lex Luthor. So number one, no. Bryan Cranston is not confirmed as Lex Luthor. Let's get that out of the way. But it is true that rumors have been going around for some time about Mark Strong, maybe as a Lex Luthor, about Bryan Cranston, maybe as a Lex Luthor. I mean, so those rumors have been around. I mean, this could be one of those scenarios where Bryan Cranston could very well end up being Lex Luthor. But if that happens, I have no doubt in my mind that there's still no validity or truth to this report. It may end up that Cranston is Luthor, but I guarantee it has nothing to do with this report or what this report is claiming. Now, that's just my opinion. You are free. I'm giving you the context now. You're free to do whatever you want. Dennis, you've heard this rumor. I mean, to you, does it even sound plausible? And then if so, how do you view this whole thing?
Well, I would love to see Bryan Cranston as Lex Luthor. I think he was my top pick. But as far as this report is concerned, I remember reading it, and everyone's like hitting us up on Twitter and Facebook and stuff asking about it. It's like you start reading, it's like, oh, Bryan Cranston confirmed as Lex Luthor. You're like, oh, I don't think it's confirmed. But then it gets weirder when it starts going, okay, Mark Strong is reprising his role. So then they go into this Matt Damon is Aquaman and Martian Manhunter, and then you're like, no, that's not happening. So yeah, that part of it I don't know, it just kills it. I don't even know why they even go that far. It's like, why not just say like the kind of more believable part, and then that later when it, like, let's say he gets cast, then you're like, oh, I told you so, you know? Why even go into those kind of weird areas?
Yeah, I agree.
If you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to AMC Movie News on YouTube. It's free and a great way to stay updated with all the latest movie news, and check out our daily show, AMC Movie Talk. Also, don't forget to check us out on Facebook and Twitter to stay in the loop for our special prizes, giveaways, and contests.